Hi, good morning. This is Ms. Hunt, and we're going to be going over week 2 of our packets and our learning. So let's get started. So in week 2, we're going to be talking about 2D and 3D shapes. If you remember from a long time ago, we went over 2D shapes, and we know that 2D shapes are flat. Now, last week, we went over 3D shapes, and I like to say that 3D shapes are fat. So let's remember the difference between 2D shapes and 3D shapes. Let's get started in our packet. So we're going to be looking at day 1. The directions here are cut out the shapes on the black line, then paste the pictures to the correct box. Now, if you don't have scissors and glue, that's okay. You can just use a pencil and try to draw the best of your ability. But if you do, you can use scissors and glue. So we have a box here that says 2D shapes, and then a box here that says 3D shapes. We're going to be looking at our pictures down here to see where they belong. Do they belong in the 2D box or do they belong in the 3D box? Let's look at the first one. This is, I'm sure you all know, a triangle. Now, a triangle, is that a 2D shape or is it a 3D shape? Remember, 2D shapes are flat, 3D shapes are fat. So looking at this shape right here, this triangle, I could tell that it is flat. I don't see any faces, so I know this is a 2D shape. So let me just, I'm going to pretend to cut it out, and then I'm going to paste it right there. And that is, this triangle is a 2D shape. And then you're going to continue to cut out and glue the rest of them. And that's how you do day 1. Looking at day 2, in day 2, we're going to be talking about the sizes of 2D and 3D shapes. So make sure when you're doing this that you're paying attention to the sizes of the shapes. So let's take a look here. The first direction says, color the big triangles red. Notice I'm saying big, so I must find my big triangles on each page, on this page. So it's just me coloring some of them to show you. Remember, I'm looking for my big triangles. Those are the big triangles that are on my page. Now, the next directions say color the big circles red. So make sure you're finding the big circles to color red. Color the small cubes blue. So now we're looking at 3D shapes. So the cube is a 3D shape. Make sure you're finding the small cubes only and coloring them blue. Then you're going to color the small cylinders blue. So make sure you're identifying the cylinder and make sure you're coloring the small cylinders. Okay, that's going to be day 2. Let's scroll down to look at day 3. Now, we're going to be looking at we're going to talk about corners or vertices. Now, with a corner, we use corners for 2D shapes because they are flat. However, for 3D shapes, we're going to be talking about the word vertice, which is a corner of a 3D shape. So on this page, your 3D shapes, your shapes are on the next page. So what you're going to do is make sure you're taking this page and cutting it and gluing it onto this page on top. So let's look here. 0 corners or 0 vertices. So taking a look at your page down here, what shapes do you know that have 0 corners or 0 vertices? I'm taking a look. I see a circle. I know a circle does not have any corners or any shapes. So I'm going to cut it out. And I'm going to glue it to the page where it says 0 corners or 0 vertices. Now remember, there is more than one shape that might go into that box. So just taking a look, are there any other shapes that go into the 0 vertices or 0 corners? Also, as a reminder, you might have some shapes that are left over. They do not go anywhere. Don't be alarmed. They just may not match. All right, friends, that's going to be the end of days 1 through 3. Please look at the next video looking at days 4 and 5, okay? See you soon.